right, first of all, I got to give a huge thank you to these amazing CUPE workers. My commitment is to support these workers. I've received the national endorsement from the union, but I'm going to fight every single day to make sure these workers get the respect they deserve. And one of the ways we respect workers is we know that we need investments in services, not cuts. And what we're seeing from the federal other party leaders is the threat of cuts. Now, Pierre Poilievre has just come out and said he's not going to cut, but we know what Conservatives do. Folks in Ontario know what Conservatives do. They cut, and it hurts people. They cut, and it costs people more. We need investments in services. We need investments in our communities, not cuts. And what I'm really disappointed by is that I expected the Conservatives to lie about not cutting and actually going to cut. But what I'm disappointed in is that I'm hearing from Mark Carney that he's also talking about cuts to services. And that is the wrong thing to do. That's the wrong thing to do. We need investments in services. He's talking about cutting things like health care. He's talking about cutting things like dental care. He's talking about cutting the services that people need, and that's wrong. And so my commitment is that with New Democrats, you will always know whose side we're on. We're not in it for the billionaires. We're not in it for the CEOs. We're in it for these workers you see behind me and workers across this country. We're in it for people. And with that, I'm ready for any questions you might have.
Mr. Singh, what are you referring to when you talk about Mark Carney's comments? The government has just rolled out, for example, the benefits for dental care. There have been agreements that have been signed for 3 provinces in the territory on pharmacare. What are you referring to when you say that he's going to move ahead with so-called cuts?
Right.
When did he say that?
Yeah, so he talked about balancing the operating budget. He tried to do some fancy economist talk to separate capital expenditures and operating expenditures. And he said he would balance the operating budget. And Liberals have come out and said the only way he can do that on the timelines he suggested is by cutting. Liberals themselves have said that. This is coming from them. And we know that's the case. The only way to achieve what he wants is to cut. And he hasn't said what he'll cut, but really everything is at risk. When he's proposing to cut at a time when people need supports, it's the wrong thing to do. And we're also seeing his priorities. He proposed, and he's already put in place, one of his first things he did as Prime Minister is a flip-flop on capital gains, which is basically a tax cut for people who earn mostly more than $1.4 million. That's the wrong thing to do. If you earn more than $1.4 million, you probably don't need a tax cut. But the working people behind me, these are the folks that actually need some supports. These are the folks that need help.
Mr. Singh, can you just clarify whether or not you are assured by Poilievre's comments? He said that no one who has dental care coverage right now will lose coverage. Are you assured that he's going to keep dental care?
The question is if I'm assured that Pierre Poilievre, the Conservative, is not going to cut. No, he is going to cut. He voted against dental care. He voted against pharmacare. He railed against them, said they were bad things, said people didn't deserve coverage. And now we're supposed to believe that he's not going to cut them? No, I don't believe him at all. Nor should anyone believe him. Conservatives cut from people, from the middle class, to give to the super rich. That is what Conservatives do. People know that right here in Ontario. That is exactly what Doug Ford and the Conservatives have been doing, cutting from people to give to the rich friends. That's what Conservatives always do, and that is a wrong thing. We need investments in people, not tax cuts for billionaires. You Democrats are always clear on who we stand for. We're in this fight for you and your family, not for the billionaires, not for the super rich.
After you broke the supply and confidence agreement, you did talk to some of the opposition leaders about potentially bringing down the government. Did you speak with Mr. Poilievre at all about safeguarding things like pharmacare and dental care in exchange for support in taking down the government, if it got to that point?
I never had any conversations with any opposition leaders about that. What I've said always is that right before Mark Carney pulled the plug and called the election, I said, before we go to an election, what I did put out to the public that I'd be willing to support is supports for the working folks that might lose their jobs. For people that are worried that with the threat of Donald Trump, the cost of living might go up even higher, I want to see investments in our economy that create good Canadian jobs. I want to see us buy and build Canadian so we can be more resilient and stronger. That's what I propose. And with the other leaders, what's clear to me is, what's clear, Mark Carney decided to go to an election instead of doing that. But with respect to the programs and services, Do not believe Pierre Poilievre when he says he's not going to cut. That is exactly what he is going to do. He has said he's going to cut pensions. He has said he's going to cut health care. He has said in the past, and he has voted against dental care and pharmacare, he is not going to invest in people. What he wants to do is cut from folks to pay for his massive tax cut for the richest billionaires. That is what he wants to do, and that is wrong.
Mr. Singh, what do you think this says about the
Messi,
program that the Conservatives are now
Appreciate it.
endorsing? What do you think it says about the program? Maybe
I'll just wrap up with this last question because it's kind of the French one in English. What I think it says is that Pierre Poilievre realizes people actually like dental care. People actually think that the pharmacare is a good idea. People like these programs, and so he's worried that if he comes out and says openly he's going to cut them, people won't actually like that. They'll actually vote against him. So he's lying to you now. He's lying to you when he says he's not going to cut the things because his track record is he voted against them. He voted against dental care. He voted against pharmacare. He said they were bad ideas. He said that people with diabetes didn't deserve coverage. He has said that. And so you can't trust the guy that has voted against a thing, said it is a bad thing, and then on the even election all of a sudden says, oh, no, I'm not going to cut it. He is lying to you. He is lying to you because he's afraid. And so if you want these programs to continue, the party that made it happen, us, the New Democrats, are the ones you can trust. Thank you so much. Just so you know, like doing this with me right now was amazing. Like having you here, you are the people we're fighting for. And I always want to showcase the people. Like we know that the other guys are in it for the billionaires, they're in it for like the big CEOs, they're in it for the big corporations. I don't work for them. I'm not in it for them. I'm in it for you. And so having you here in this shot for me was really special because I want to show Canadians this is what it should be about. This is who we should be fighting for. So just don't give up, all right? Don't give up hope because together they're going to want us to feel like we can't move forward. They want us to kind of give up. We can't give up, right? We say one day longer, one day stronger. We mean that. We got to keep on fighting because together we can win. If we fight, we win.